Everybody, it's the Black Ghost, and there's some birds chirping outside, but even more important, look at this! Look at it, it's a whole big old box of Magic Origins. I'm excited. This box looked like it could maybe hold its value, make it back to the $90 I paid, prepaid up front, my local game store. I think I might be able to get that 90 back. Hopefully we'll hit some flip walkers, maybe even a foil one. That'd be super sweet. Alright, come on now, get in the box. Alright, so you always get your little shitty guy. Fat Pack's not a good value. Deck Builder's Toolkit's sometimes a great value. Clash Pack, fantastic value. And booster packs are what they are. You should buy them from the thing. I do have a video on booster packs. I do have a video on the Deck Builder's Toolkit. And I do have a video on the Clash Pack. So, rewind if you missed me doing the thing. But, follow those links. Magic Duels I've heard not good things about. And then how to set up the booster draft. Alright, so we've got 36 packs worth of goodness here. I'm so excited. I haven't opened a booster box in forever, not since Conspiracy. So we'll see what we get. Like I said, we're looking for flip walkers. Those are the bombs. There's a lot of value just kind of floating around in this set. Some uncommons that look to be really good. Some other uncommons, some mythics. Let's get cracking. I'm gonna kind of gloss over the commons and the uncommons because my phone doesn't have that much space to record these videos. So we'll go ahead. We'll just shoot through all this stuff. I'll slow up a little bit when we get to the thing. Ooh! It's Kythion's Irregulars and a foil Plains, which takes the spot of a different Plains, so I guess there's that. So there's that. Put all the basic stuff back in the box. So, it's a solid card, I guess. That comes in one of the Clash Packs as one of the rares, so if you go and you buy the Clash Packs, which are value, you should get those. They got, they can tap down a creature for double white, so that's not bad. You can curve those out at the top end of the white weenies, maybe. There's a lot of good stuff that I want to see. I want to see elves. I want to see the red-white artifacts, infinite obliteration. Name a card. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. Alright, and that's right, it's now at the 3 with the double black, so not terrible. No foil there. If we get a Planeswalker pack, I'll show you what the Planeswalker packs look like. If you had clicked the pack video that I did before, that's the quick and dirty on the Planeswalker pack. If you want to jump back in time, back to the start of the video after I've opened the box to check it out, that's cool. Otherwise, just watch this whole video from start to finish and then come back to it. There we go. This new spell mastery mechanic looks pretty fun. If you have 2 instants or sorceries in your graveyard, the spells do more stuff. Hey, there's Abbot of Carol Keep. That's supposed to be... Oh, cool. Elf Warrior token made a comeback. Those are very highly sought after. This guy is supposed to be pretty good. You don't really want to play him on the second turn, because then you can't play whatever it is, because you've already played your land to play him. So you have to play him at least turn 3, and then you either will flip a land, which you get to put into play for free and keep the land that's already in your hand, or you have to hope that you hit a one cost spell. So the best time to play him is pretty much turn 4. I'm not sure how valuable he's going to be on turn 4, but I'll give him a shot. I've got my mono red deck that could probably find a space for him. So that's pretty sweet. Good old Cobble Brute. I didn't get to play this as a thing, but I might come back. I might go back out and play some. This whole weekend they're supposed to be playing limited with this, which is pretty sweet. Some double colored. Hey, Tainted Remedy. I'm looking for this. I want to build a modern deck around it. I want it to be good. I want it to turn all of my life gain stuff into instant kill / shocks. So I'm happy that I already picked up one of those. I don't have to pick up quite as many. Now in the future, I don't think that comes with any of the black. I think it's green, black, and blue, black. There's Smash to Smithereens. I'm not excited about Smash to Smithereens being printed in Modern Masters and then immediately in the next set. That's a little much for me. Thopter Engineer should be good. Sword of the Pricklebore, Foiled Pricklebore. Sword of the Animist could be really good to help you start pulling up lands. I've seen some people say that it could be value. Let's see what else I got here. Hopefully I don't know if I can put this all together with all the value of the cards when I first cracked these packs. This is the day of. I got these all day of, so that means I get this sweet buy a box Relic Seeker promo, Renown 1, which means when it deals damage, it gets a +1 counter on it, combat damage to a player. And then when it becomes renowned, search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, and put it into your hand and shuffle your library. It is not a Stoneforge Mystic, because you have to have it out and then attack. But for standard, that might just be good enough. Reclaim, Suppression Bonds, Erosa's Champion, Double Striker, Skywalker Giant, and Shivan Reef. So there's one of the tap lands, one of the more expensive ones. Actually, one of the pain lands, enemy colored pain lands that I have 4 of. So I might be trading out some of my pain lands then. I might be trading that out for something else. Alright. Yoke Docks. Cruel Revival. We got another foil. That's right. Cruel Revival. Destroy target non-zombie creature. It can't be regenerated or turn up to 1 target zombie card from your graveyard into your hand. Yeah, Zombie Tribal. Shaman of the Pack. This is supposedly like a $5 uncommon. When Shaman of the Pack enters the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to the number of elves you control. So an elf ball, using Elvish Promenade and just pumping out elves would love this. And Helm of the Gods is our rare. Gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. Could be good in an enchantment-based deck, but... And foil rare, Nisa's Revelation. Cost 7, scry 5, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you draw cards equal to its power. You gain life equal to its toughness. That might see some play in some of the mono green or the green red Nykthos based decks, just as a way to just completely refill your hand after you've dumped stuff out using Nykthos. Obviously we're looking for there's the Exquisite Firecraft or whatever that's supposed to be pretty good for burn / red decks. Fleshbag Marauder, which is exactly the same as another black card currently printed. Here's Flame Shadow Conjuring, which could be good because it puts additional bonus pressure on people. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay red. If you do, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. That token gains haste, exile at the beginning of your next end step. So it's it costs a little bit to put out, but once it's out, the cost to double up something is actually pretty cheap. So that's nice. Could end up being playable. We'll have to see. No flipwalkers yet, but we've barely made a dent in our first full stack. So let's see what else we get. Languish! There we go. Nice double black and 2 for all creatures get -4 until the end of turn. In a world where Siege Rhino and his 4/5 body exist, this could be fun for that Abzan kind of build. Or Tassiger. It's not Damnation. I'm not sure they'll ever print Damnation again. I think the power level of Damnation is just too big to be printed in a non-Modern Masters set. So we'll have to see if it gets printed somewhere in there. It might be the selling point of Modern Masters 2016. But I think the selling point of Modern Masters 2016 will end up being don't mind the middle skip. It'll probably end up being Innistrad stuff, like Snapcaster Mage and stuff like that. That'll be the selling point of Modern Masters 2. Now these tip cards, some of these tip cards actually have the story, the beginning of the story for these, and of course none of the ones say, like, here's Gideon Jura and where he came from. So some of the tip cards actually have, who the guys are and what their, what their background, their origin is, as it were. Magic origins. So we'll go ahead and, I miss Moonglove. Shoot through here. Tormented Thoughts. Hydrolash. Reclusive Artificer. You may have it deal damage to target creature equal to the number of artifacts you control. That's not terrible. Embermaw Hellion. 5 for a 4/5 with Trample. If another red source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage +1 to that permanent or player instead. That's not bad. That's not bad. It might end up being playable. There's a foil. Well, we'll see. So I gotta pick up the pace a little bit here. I didn't make it through a whole stack before I ran out of juice, but then before I ran out of space. So this is looking like a 30-minute long video. And I know it's because I must not ruin the packs every time I open it. I know it. I know. But I like keeping the packs, so too bad. Magmatic Insight, which I think could be super sweet, especially late or in red decks that just can't be dumping cards. Alright, Sigiled Starfish, Battlefield Forge, another tap, another Pain Land. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's one of the ones that historically is a little more expensive. But I don't know, since, there's been a flood of some other lands that do the same work, whether that's gonna hold. Alright, here we go. Here's something that goes along with the Tainted Remedy now. Target player gains 4 life and draw a card. Basically that means target player loses 4 life and you draw a card when Tainted Remedy is out. Then you can also use it for yourself. Destroy target tapped creature. You can play it as though it had flash. How nice. Foundry of the Council. Sacrifice it, put 2. Yeah, okay. And here's the black rare from the black deck. Kulthafed, Soul Hoarder. Costs way too much. But whenever a permanent owned by another player is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Sounds like a perfect EDH kind of card. Alright, so far no Flipwalkers, no Mythics. We got the Languish, and we got one of the cards that I was looking for. Let's see if we get anything else that is super sweet. We ended up with 1 foil rare. Alright, all this stuff and things. Consecrated by Blood, Somberwald Alpha, Sentinels of the Eternal Watch, and Herald of the Pantheon. Hey, cool! And the token for the the Nissa Flipwalker's second ability. This is probably going to be a harder to find token. I'm going to set that guy off to the side. But Herald of the Pantheon makes enchantment decks seem like they're going to be a good idea. It might bring back the Blossoms deck with the card draw. We'll see. I may not be putting it in the the enchantment deck that I wanted to put together. I was considering running Abzan colors, and now that I have two packs of the 2-player Clash pack, Abzan colors will probably be a little bit easier for me to play. So I may end up doing that. I might just do that. Nentuko Husk used to be a power guy. Shadows of the Past. Whenever a creature dies, scry 1. Ooh. Eyeblight Massacre, which is a pretty sweet elf tribal card. And there's a Mythic Starfield of Nyx. That's one of the ones that I want to put into my enchantment deck. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield as long as you control 5 or more enchantments. Each other non-aura enchantment you control is a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and toughness equal to its converted mana cost. So this also becomes a 5/5. Now hopefully it doesn't eat the first piece of removal that comes along. Because if you end up targeting something else with removal, since it's now a creature, that thing actually helps. And Languish won't kill off all the stuff, so it may kill off all the rest of your enchantments. I would love attacking with a pacifism that is attached to a creature, and just watching this pacifism, which is the actual word means I don't like to fight, attack, while dragging this formerly angry creature along with it. If I can just do that, I think I will have won the game. I'll just get up from the game and say, I have won, I have achieved victory. I am done here. Knightly Valor, Dwarwen's Elite. If you control another elf, put a 1/1, so it's a bear that also makes another elf. Hey, Pia and Kieran Nalar, who can do a lot of great work in, Limited. When they come into play, they get 2 1/1 flyers, so you get 4 toughness for 4 mana. Always a pretty good value. And then 2 and a red, sacrifice an artifact. Pia and Kieran Nalar deal 2 damage to target creature or player, which is pretty useful. That will be hopping directly into my Insole Artifact deck, which will become a little bit more full artifact than it was before. We still haven't hit Goblin Pile Driver, which is the really expensive rare in this set. Magnetic Insight, Meteorite, Zendikar's Royal, which I've seen used pretty well in a limited situation, and Willbreaker, who costs 5, can be lightning struck, but whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes the target of a spell or ability you control, gain control of that creature for as long as you control Willbreaker. That's the kind of guy, there's the new goblin. That's the kind of guy who could get out of control very quickly if you can't deal with it. Something that does not have kill spells in it, a deck like that, or other permission, that may not be a bad play. You might want to bring it in from the sideboard, along with, Pia, who's all like, hey, I'm going to ping that, and now it's mine. Oh, your Siege Rhino? Ping, mine. I don't know how long that's going to last, but, still. Alright, so here we go. We got a Fetid Imp, and more common type stuff. Gather the Pack, War Oracle, Tome, grab yourself some things, and a Vran Wingmare, which I picked up in one of my other loose packs. So, let's see. I think I'm going to have to move this around. This is going to end up... Yeah. Just technical background jargon, don't mind me. I do like the packs. They look pretty sweet. The flat black with the with the spark. Pretty nice. When this creature dies, draw a card. Alright, fair. Alright. Sphinx's Tutelage. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent puts top 2 cards from his or her library in the graveyard. If they're both non-land cards that share a color, repeat this process. Maybe this is a mill card, maybe? Warrior of Champions, Eyeblight Massacre again, and Days Undoing! This has the propensity to do all sorts of weird stuff, fun stuff. Each player shuffles his or her hand and graveyard into his or her library, then draws 7 cards. If it's your turn, end the turn. But if you give it flash somehow, all of a sudden you're just doing this in the middle of a play, and you don't have to end the turn. You can also flash in response to somebody doing something on your turn, and just say, no, it doesn't happen, because the turn has just ended. So there's all sorts of fun ways that might get broken. I don't know how often that's going to get broken in Standard, but still, if you're running low on cards, if you're running the blue-red artifact aggro type thing, then you may end up wanting to just refill a hand quickly. And that's probably a good way to do it. You play it in your second main, you grab a whole bunch of cards, and call it a day. Turn to Frog. Anchor to the Aether. And there's our Goblin Pile Driver! Yeah! And apparently it's a flip Goblin Pile Driver, because we got a flip checklist card. I like that they're coming in more than just the ones that come with it. That way you can, use them if you pick up the flip guys elsewhere. I'll set that one aside. But Goblin Pile Driver, ladies and gentlemen, he's the chase card of this set. He has protection from blue, which is good, but not the reason you're playing him. You're playing him because his +2 until the end of turn for each other attacking goblin is awesome. He's a legacy darling, and now he might be a modern darling. We'll have to see. Not wildly different than Goblin Rabblemaster, but more bang for the buck. And then you try to find your way to keep stuff from blocking. Perhaps a dashed Goblin knee biter, and then you make some Dargon Fodders to keep him coming. Keep buffing him. Blazing Hellhound, who could be interesting in that deck. Hey, there we go. Thopter Spy Network. Some people say this has the potential to be Bitter Blossom. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact, say you control a Darksteel Citadel, put a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. This could be really good, and I look forward to putting it in my Ensoul Artifact deck to see if I can't break it wide open. I will definitely be buying the remaining. Okay, it's definitely going to take me like 4 videos to do all of this. But anyway, here's the next pack. Hopefully there's a Chief of the Foundry. You can get a couple of these by getting the Pia Nalar theme deck. There's 2 actually theme decks that look like they're actually worth buying, as opposed to getting $4 worth of, deck stuff. But these look like they actually have $10 worth of cards in them, plus the 2 packs. So that's pretty good. We got a foil in here too. Gnarlewort Trapper, Rogue's Passage, and a Soul Blade Jin. That looks pretty good limited. Touch of Moonglove as our foil. Soul Blade Jin is 5, 3 and double blue, flying whenever you cast a non-creature spell. Creatures you control, you get +1/+1. So it pumps. It gives prowess to everybody. Touch of Moonglove is whenever a target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains Death Touch until the end of turn. Whenever a creature dealt damage by this creature dies, its controller loses 2 life. So that's That's kind of nice. A little extra oomph in there. That's insult to injury right there. Hey, I just, killed your dude with my little thopter, and then you lost 2 life. So, suck on it. Suck on it, Stang. Alright, so we got all this stuff that's in here. Zendikar Incarnate, which is just like, I get bigger. Blood Cursed Knight, which is part of the enchantment deck. Gold Forge Sentinel, which is a guy. Woodland Bellower! There's our other mythic. Woodland Bellower is all sorts of man. When Woodland Bellower enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a non-legendary green creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. I've seen some combos that are brewing around this guy. Simple combos, not like infinite I-win combos. Except there actually are some infinite I-win combos, almost, with Nykthos and making sure you have at least 3 devotion to blue, as well as enough devotion to green. So he can be really fun. And plus, the green just has such a toolkit with Court of Calling still in there, and Collected Company. Just grabbing whatever you need whenever you need it. And that guy is going to do the same thing, except he's also going to come with a 6/5 body attached to it. And hopefully, if you're running it with Nykthos, you're just kind of, getting all the mana you need that he dumps out pretty easily. Well, these Smash to Smithereens are worth 10 cents now. They were worth $3 before. Necromantic Summons. Put a target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gets 2 additional if you got Spell Mastery. Here's the other part. Okay, so Bounding Crassus, plus Woodland Bellower. You grab him up with this and put him onto the battlefield, and he untaps your Voyaging Satyr, or Kiora's Follower, which untaps Nykthos. And then you use Nykthos to tap. And then there's bounce. There's something that bounces in there too. And then this guy bounces back and on, and you make infinite mana by doing that. Here's a Knight of the White Orchid. If your opponent controls more lands than you do, search for planes and put it onto your battlefield. It has first strike. So a little bit of a kind of a land tax on a man, but a little more fair than I think land tax is. Alright. Alright, Warhorn. Attacking creatures you control get +1/+0. This is essentially what it's going to make up for the pumpers that we're losing when Theros rotates out. There are 2 in Theros and M15, Obelisk of Erd, and the one that just does the colored characters. This is the not as good replacement. Knightly Valor, and a Hangerback Walker, which is making some of the artifact lists. Enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. When it dies, put a 1/1 colorless Thopter. So you're basically trying to build it up, make it better, bigger, and then you get some value when it dies. I can see why it's not great. They got the Doomed Traveler. It's been versus, say, Doomed Traveler, which costs 1, and you get a 1/1 flyer back from it dying. In order to get the 1/1 flyer back from the hanger back, you need to pay at least 2. Of course, you could pay any mana, so there's that. Alright, so what do we got here? We got some more stuff. Alright, there we are. Psychic Rebuttal, Thunderclap Wervin, another Rogue's Passage, and Tragic Arrogance, which I've already reviewed in one of my, I think it was the Deck Builder's Toolkit video, but it's a lot like a Cataclysm. It costs 1 more than Cataclysm, and it is sorcery speed, but you choose the permanents that the other player keeps as well as you. So instead of the other player choosing all the best permanents that he keeps, you choose the worst permanents for him to keep. So that's not too bad. Oh, and look at my foil's got like a mess up on it. Yeah. Alright, so no flip walkers. We've gotten a couple of mythics, some pretty reasonable mythics so far. 3 mythics so far, so we may not get flip walker in here, which would be disappointing. It'd be nice if we got a foil one. Foil flip, that'd be pretty sweet. Alright, hold on. Come on out of there. We did get 1 foil rare already. Alright, so there is a foil here. I didn't look hard enough. It didn't look like a flip walker. So there's Patreon all angels all the time. There's a flying guy that gets +1/+1 when you cast spells. Harbinger of the Tides, who has been kicking around as part of a blue devotion, mono blue devotion build. There's the possibility that he might be okay with in a Merfolk deck. I'm not so sold on that. And we got a Rabid Bloodsucker. That's our foil. Basically, the Harbinger of the Tides costs 2 blue. He's a 2/2. When you cast Harbinger of the Tides, you may cast it as though it had flash if you pay 2 more to cast it. And when he enters into the battlefield, you may return target tapped creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand, which can keep something from attacking at you for a bit. I now have a full playset of Smash to Smithereens, which devalues my Modern Masters draft by a bunch. Alright, so there's our Ravaging Blaze. There's probably a foil in here, because we got there real quick. Somberwalt Alpha, Malakir Cullblade, Relic Seeker, so there's the non-foil version of my Buy a Box foil. A Prism Ring. As Prism Ring enters the battlefield, choose a color. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen color, you gain 1 life. So this takes the place of the Magistaffs and the other artifacts that are only for 1 kind of artifact. Unfortunately, it costs 1 less, but it's only for you. The other ones that do specific colors, like Dragon's Claw, that does red, does any spell, yours or the opponent's, which works out a lot better when you're playing, say, a burn deck or something like that. Here is the next pack. Seismic Elemental, another foil. We got 3 foils in a row. This is pretty shiny. Citadel Castellan, Blight Caster for your enchantment decks. Evolutionary Leap. This is another kind of chasey kind of guy. Sacrifice a creature, reveal from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library. Now, it's not natural selection, and that would be broken if they printed natural selection. But if you're, if something's going to die anyway, might as well, right? What was our... Hey! And we get a foil, Pia, and Kieran Nalaar. Not bad. Alright, so basically I can buy the intro deck and almost have a full set of 2 foils, 1 unfoil, if I do it that way. That's not too shabby. Alright, so we got 2 foil rares, we got 3 mythics, so I don't know if we'll get any more out of this pack, out of this box. This is actually a kind of a large set. It's larger than most of the core sets that have come out recently. It is larger than, here's some more artifact love. Larger than most of the decks that have come out. Guildleaf Windward. Did we get another foil? No, okay. So here's another Elf Warrior. He's got Menace. When he enters the battlefield, you may destroy target non-elf creature whose power and toughness aren't equal. So, say, Siege Rhino. I think black-green elves could be a thing. They are pushing them really hard, and there's enough, tribally kind of stuff that might, be able to put it all together. I'm probably going to buy both of those decks. Alright, here we go. Infernal Scarring. They reprinted Guardians of Meletus. Alright. Psychic Rebuttal, Shadows of the Past, which along with the Evolutionary Leap is all like, I'm gonna go ahead and scry. Oh, this is not the creature I want to pick up. I'm going to put that creature on the bottom. So, Undercity Troll, Gideon's Phalanx. This is supposed to be a kind of a control-y finisher. It's an instant. It costs 7, but you put 4 2/2 white knights with vigilance onto the battlefield. And if there are instant or sorcery cards, 2 instant sorcery cards in your graveyard, they become indestructible until the end of turn. So you can flash out a big block or chump out some stuff that they didn't think was going to die. You could also play it during your turn if you have some sort of thing that gives haste. I don't know. The spell mastery part of it's not as useful for what it wants to do. But then again, if you 8 power worth of guys is probably going to kill anything that comes in attack mode. Here is tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Gira per Aether Grid deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So that's that. Fiery Conclusion, which if it hit actual players would be so brilliant. Good old Revenant. And a Displacement Wave. Return all non-land permanents with converted mana cost X or less to their owner's hand. It could have some value because you could sweep the board of little guys so that only your fatties are left. So there's some value there. We got 5 left to see if we can grab ourselves a Flip Walker. I probably won't make it. We've hit 3 mythics so far, which is pretty sweet. And then the Goblin Pile Driver. So, I don't know, we might have made it close to our box total on the rares. $90 is what I'm trying to hit, so not too bad. Hey, there we go! Ask and you shall receive a Flip Walker. Here is the super easiest to flip Walker. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile Liliana, Heretical Healer, then return her to the battlefield transformed under her owner's control. If you do, put a 2/2 blocker token, black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. She also is a 2/3 with lifelink for 3, which isn't terrible. But here is her Defiant Necromancer version. +2, each player discards a card. -X, return target non-legendary creature card with converted mana cost X from the graveyard to the battlefield. So you do 1 activation of each player discards the card, and then you return Siege Rhino from your graveyard to the battlefield. And the -8, whenever you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next upkeep step. Well, I'm going to take my Siege Rhino, see? And what I'm going to do with it, see, is I'm going to sacrifice it to Evolutionary Leap, see? And then at the end of the turn, see, it comes back and it siphons you, see? Isn't that great? Okay, so we end up with 4 mythics in this box. That is a good mythic count. I got 1 of each of the rares that I'm looking for. I'm also looking for the Sigil of the Empty Throne, too, but those are relatively cheap because they've been printed before. So I might be able to pick those up pretty cheap to put together my enchantment deck. That's only going to be good for like 2 months. Murder? Did you say murder? Murder investigation. Whenever an enchanted creature dies, put X/1/1 white soldier tokens onto the battlefield where X is its power. That's fun. Towergeist to possess Scab and a Jace's Sanctum. This could be really fun, especially in EDH. What it says is, instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Well, that's good. All of my negates become 1 mana. That's fine, I can deal with that. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, scry 1. That could be really super sharp, especially in a control-typey deck. You know, once you hit, 7 mana, all of a sudden, boom. Game, set, and match. I'm gonna counter your spell and then put more counters or Pearl Lake dude on the top, just so that I can clear the board here. Oh, look, Ojtai is coming next. Isn't that nice? Alright, so let's see. So far, no doubles in my rares, so there's that. Bob Baran. Okay, Draga, Invocator, Conclave Naturalist, Jesse and Thief. Oh, there's a foil in here. Talent of the Telepath. 4. Target opponent reveals the top 7 cards of his or her library. You may cast an instant or sorcery card from among them without playing its mana cost. Then that player puts the rest in his or her graveyard. And if it has spell mastery, you get to choose 2 of them and cast up to the 2 revealed instead of the 1 without paying its mana cost. It's a Hail Mary. You never know what you're going to get. You might get nothing. You might get Collected Company, which gets nothing in your deck. So we'll see. And a Knight of Pilgrim's Road. Just a Renowned Knight as my foil. So 2 more packs. Let's get there. And then I will come back to you with a total of the dollars for just the rares. And we only hit one of those elfin guys as far as I can tell. The expensive elf deals all the damage to your face guys. Jemade Tone. And Chandra's Ignition. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. Which is not a bad way to finish some folks off. You could use that on, say, your Ensouled Artifact, perchance. And then it deals 5 to every one of his creatures, pretty much a board wipe. And yours as well, but also 5 to his face. So, a little bit of value there. Alright, here we go. Last pack. Let's see. Could this be a 5 mythic pack? Probably not. But let's go there, baby. Let's get there. Maybe I got 2 foil rares, 4 mythics. I think we're in good shape. Nissa's Revelation. So this is one of our foil rares. Scry 5 didn't reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you draw cards equal to the power and toughness. Draw cards equal to its power and gain life equal to its toughness. So there we go. That's our box. Our Boxerino. So not including the possibly $5 uncommon. I'm going to go ahead and math all this up, see how much this big old pile of jazz is. Not including any of these foils, but we'll put the foil, as always, foil lands are acceptable. Plus the other foils. So I'll be right back with this pile of cards. That's probably not how that last sentence ended. But according to my calculations, we didn't hit a bad mythic, and not including this Relic Seeker, it's going somewhere between 5 and 7. Now remember, these are all deck box first day prices, so they're going to go especially some of them. And also it's deck box, so they get their pricing from how much people are trying to sell the cards. All of these have been sold at some point, trying to be sold or listed for because of pre-release and today's boxes. Some stores were open at midnight to hand out the boxes that people bought. Well, like I said, we didn't hit any bad mythics. We got a couple foils we had at least one foil that was like a $5. All of our mythics were at least $5. The Starfield of Nyx right now at 5, and the Bellower at 6 and change. We hit maybe 4 or 5, maybe like 4 rares that there's another $5 rare in Evolutionary Leap. We had maybe 4 rares that were actually under 75 cents, and then Lily's going at 25 right now on deck box. So that's pretty sharp. Days Undoing is doing 15. Goblin Pile Driver is doing 15. Languish is doing 11. Languish, I'm pretty sure, is going to fall down to somewhere in the $5 range while it's still there. So if you do trade this away for like a fetch, you'll probably be able to buy these up in the next month or so to get that money back. But dollars, all of that, just our rares, you can see my Handy Blizzard map, 146.70, just our rares, and that is about $50 more than I paid for the box. So, feeling pretty good. If I were to jump out today and go onto eBay and buy up all the cards that I wanted, if these were all the cards that I wanted, it would have cost me that much to go out and get them. Obviously I don't want all of them, but they all look good and most of them are useful. Plus it doesn't include some of the useful uncommons and commons that'll be in here. My foil forest and these other foil cards. I don't think any of these foil cards are worth anything. The Ashaya, the Awoken World token that I ended up with, legendary creature elemental. But I'm pretty psyched. This was a pretty good box. I got more than I paid for it as of the first day. Within a week, I'm pretty sure it'll be at least even to what I paid for it. But a lot of the big value doesn't look like it's going to go down. The pile driver, the Days Undoing, the Lily, I think all of those things are going to hold some value here before for the next month or so. So I'm excited. This is good. Thanks everybody for watching. If you made it all the way here, fantastic. You are awesome. We heart you so much. So you should like and subscribe because obviously you love my hands doing things. So thank you. Like and subscribe, all that jazz, and have a fantastical day. Yay!